fantastic Mr. Fox. And if they aren't completely knocked out and dazzled and kind of intimidated by me, then I don't feel good about myself. I don't want to live in a hole anymore. It makes me feel poor.
We are poor, but we're happy.
Come see, come sa. Anyway, the views are better above ground.
I don't care about the truth about yourself. This story is too predictable.
Predictable, really? What happens in the end?
In the end, we all die. Unless you change.
By the way, you look unbelievably beautiful tonight. You're practically glowing. Maybe it's the lighting.
Fantastic Mr. Fox is a thematically rich film that touches on subjects like passing your sins to the next generation, consequences of pride, and even contentment. All those sound like really heavy subjects, but if you've seen this film, you might not have even picked up on them. These are themes that are barely touched on, which really speaks to this stop animation masterpiece that I absolutely adore. Not only does this film have amazing actors like George Clooney, Meryl Streep, and Bill Murray. I mean, come on, who hates a Ghostbuster? But the behind the scenes footage of the actors performing the stop motion animation is truly something special.
Scared? No. I have a phobia of them. Well, I have a thing about thunder. Why? That's stupid.
Even though I would love to gush about this film, I wanted to deepen my understanding of the infamous wolf scene and ask the question, why is it so important? And to do so, we kinda have to go through the entire movie. So if you haven't seen this masterpiece, please do yourself a favor and go watch it. Let's go. Mr. Fantastic Fox starts with Mr. Fox and Felicity, his wife, raiding Burke's squab farm, which is a beautiful scene. Later in the film, we discover that there are 3 farmers, Bogus, Bunce, and Bean. We'll get back to them though. While trapped, Felicity reveals to Fox that they are pregnant with their first cub, which cuts us to 12 Fox years later, and we discover his name is Ash, and he's a bit different. But in the scene that can only be described as perfect, we get introduced to what the infamous wolf scene is trying to tell us, and that is Mr. Fox's internal dilemma of having a domesticated life but wanting to live freely, or what he likes to call being a wild animal. It's important to note that the life he loved of stealing squabs and chickens was taken from him, and it's clear from the dialogue he is unhappy with the life he wants and the life he has. We can also see this through his movement. Besides Mr. Fox devouring pancakes like a wild animal, he's practically human in his environment, speech, clothing, and honestly everything else in this scene. We even get a hint of him understanding and speaking another language.
Come see, come sa.
Hello, I was editing this and I kind of noticed that I missed something. I think it's very important to acknowledge the flow of this scene. It starts with Mr. Fox kind of acknowledging that he isn't happy. He tells his wife this. It's a cry for help, just like how his news article is a cry for help. How he is experiencing this fear of getting old, getting to the age his father died, how all these things in his life aren't kind of going his way, and how he misses his glorious, selfish years of being fantastic, dazzling people. But he gives us an answer immediately. He tells us his solution to his problems are going to be letting out his wild instincts. Clearly, you can see this with conversations through Kylie, and even later on when his wife confronts him, but it's super important to acknowledge it. He's telling everyone what his plans are right off the rip. Anderson does this so beautifully, and it's super important to know that he kind of does this throughout the film, even with Felicity giving her a false choice.
Should we go through the hole under the horse fence or climb the rail over the bridle path?
Well, I guess the horse fence would be a little safer.
Oh, but the bridle path puts us right out next to the squab shack.
Oh, okay.
He gives her a choice even though he knows what he wants to do, and he does what he wants to do anyways, but he's giving her this false choice, and this is throughout the film. You can see it until he understands that he needs to start loving and respecting his life and his wife. Happy wife, happy life. All right. That's enough interrupting. Back to it. After Fox uses his catchphrase and leaves for the day, Fox ignores Badger's warning to move into a new home that is unsafe for his species and puts him and his family in a bad financial state. Knowing Fox's mindset, we can see why he is taking this massive risk to himself and, most notably, his family and community. That's because it is perched close to 3 notorious farmers that he used to steal from, which is another hint towards his internal conflicts. After moving into a beautifully designed home, like, wow, Wes Anderson really killed this. But after moving in, Felicity's nephew nephew Christopherson comes to live with him due to his father receiving a long-term treatment for double pneumonia. And immediately you can tell the difference in Ash and Christopherson. Ash has inherited Mr. Fox's insecurities and pridefulness, while Christopherson has reaped the benefits of a loving, attentive father, which hints to the passing of sins to your children. After getting settled in, instead of living a content life, he uses his newfound friendship with Kylie to start thieving. They steal poultry and cider from bogus Bunsen beans. In between the raids, it's more evident per heist that this isn't just a one-off mission. It's a self-indulgent effort to reclaim his youth, and his prideful nature puts his family and community in danger. The second half of this film is kicked off with the farmer shooting off Mr. Fox's tail, which is symbolic to him losing his masculinity, which is probably tying in to this midlife crisis that we are seeing develop. This desperate attempt to re-grab his fantastic years. Forced into hiding, Mr. Fox and his family dig underground with a community of animals he put into danger. Fearing starvation, Fox devises a plan to pull off the greatest heist of his career, stealing all the farmers' prized goods by tunneling to their farms and saving his community. This is where the book ends. If the reasoning for Mr. Fox reclaiming his thieving efforts were to save his family, this would be a great ending. But since Anderson flipped Fox's ambitions on its head, the story needs to continue. It's not for selfless, but selfish reasoning. Everyone is in this mess. And come on, man, that's kind of poetic. Anderson knows what he's doing. So the farmers flood the tunnels with cider, which forced some of the best scenes in this film, at least emotionally. While everyone is getting flooded by cider, Ash and Christopherson slip away to reclaim his father's tail. This shows another connection between Ash and his father. They are both extremely impulsive. After some more emotional scenes, Fox decides to surrender, which I personally still believe is him being prideful. He's choosing the easier route. He's choosing to be fantastic, when what his family really needs is a stable, content father. This causes Rat and Fox to get into a fight, causing Rat to die. We get to see Rat's final wish is to get a taste of that sweet cider, but dying before he gets a sip. He seems content.
Cider.
You can start to see that a lot of the characters surrounding Fox are shaping him into what he should have been from the start of the film, which inevitably climaxes at the infamous wolf scene, and starting with the first glimpse of his news article. After the final act of the film starts, a huge counterattack commences from animals to humans. A lot of great and unique uses of stop animation is seen here, especially with the smoke and the coloration of the sets, with a great subversion of the final battle.
Necktie. Hit him!
We finally have arrived at the infamous scene with the true wild animal. So if you haven't figured it out by now, or if I didn't explain it good enough, which is kind of my whole job here, the wolf is symbolic of who Mr. Fox thinks he is. And this is seen through conversations with his wife and his best friend Kylie. It is evident of Fox's many mannerisms that Fox is not the wild animal that he speaks of. Throughout the film, we do see Fox speaking and writing about the fear of wolves he has, but he isn't actually scared of wolves. He is scared of the end of his life and not being, well, fantastic. The distinction is clear when you understand that the film is trying to be contradicting. Mr. Fox claims he is like a wolf in front of him, but him speaking and understanding multiple languages, his clothing, his catchphrases, his obsession with being fantastic are all contradicting to who the wolf is. Fox is obsessed and willing to destroy his family for what he thinks he is, and he couldn't be farther away from being the lone wolf that doesn't understand basic language and doesn't concern himself with being fantastic. This film also dances with the idea of death. When viewing the wolf as a bridge to his glory, selfish, wild, carefree years, you can start to see that when he asks about the upcoming winter, he's asking about the rest of his life. What is waiting for him near the age that his father died, and if he will ever be happy or satisfied. This could be a stylistic choice, but the wolf does look sickly, which could tie into the idea that this is what is awaiting Mr. Fox, the end of his life. The ending of this film ends with Fox seemingly finding contentment, like Rat does right before his death. But instead of cider, it's his family and community. This story has a lot of different angles and meanings that you could take from it, but overall, I believe Anderson was trying to tell us and warn us about pride and over-evaluating our glory years and not really appreciating the time we have left. Mr. Fantastic Fox is easily a masterpiece, and I would recommend it to everyone at any stage of life and at any time during the year. But at the heart of it, it is a film about Thanksgiving. It is all about being grateful for what you have. So don't forget what you have. Always be grateful what's to come. Don't be prideful and overlook the ones you love, because loving one another is the greatest commandment we have been given. God bless.